Welcome to Bob Folkrad's Hunting Adventure. It's an exciting one this week. We got two different moose, one in BC and one in Newfoundland, and along with Newfoundland we're doing the caribou. What a great privilege it was to meet Lance Goodwin. I tell you what, a real woodsman right there, the real deal. If you ever get a chance to hunt with him, you want to book a hunt. I had good luck and bad luck in Newfoundland though. I got sick going in, spent 3 days in a hotel laying in bed. Thought I was going to have to cancel the hunt. The weather broke, flew in, spent another 3 days in bed. But with luck would have it, you can't keep a good man down. We got up, got the moose and the caribou. So this is an exciting trip. Don't go away. A lot of hunting coming right up.
Victor Chevrolet, Bass Pro Shops, and Alamocitos Ranch present Bob Folkrad's Hunting Adventures. Seven continents, 80 species, a 5-year quest in the making. High adventure, dangerous game, real-world training tips. This is Bob Folkrad's Hunting Adventures.
In some corners of the outdoor world, just being there is enough. British Columbia is like that, particularly the Forgotten Triangle, where the province touches on Glacier Bay National Park in Alaska and Kluane National Park in the Yukon. This spectacular 4,000 square mile wilderness is some of the most beautiful wild country in North America, and also some of the most challenging. Redhead pro Bob Folkrad has been lured here to join Northwest Big Game Outfitters for a crack at the big moose of the province.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Bob.
After meeting outfitter Jack Goodwin and his brother Lance at base camp, Bob hops aboard for a 3-hour boat ride up the Tatsunshini River to the hunting area. The ride itself can be an adventure. You never know what might be around the next bend. Grizzlies are abundant. Huge and temperamental, these guys offer some interesting footage. But Lance makes sure to keep plenty of water between the boat and the shore.
It's a nice trip. I can see the moose racks on the cabin. Oh man, I'm telling you, that looks nice. Log cabin right in the middle of the bush like this.
After unloading their gear, the guys get ready for the hunt.
Today's gearbox includes Redhead Extreme Elements parka and pants, Browning A-Bolt 300 Win Mag, Winchester Nosler Ballistic Tip Ammo, Sims True Glow Limb Saver recoil pad, and XPS Power Dry thermals.
Most days begin with a climb up a high ridge, giving a vantage point to glass the feeding areas in the valley below. The weather is warm for British Columbia, and Lance and Bob know they may have their work cut out for them.
Seems like if they're moving at all, we're going to see them from this vantage point here.
The bulls are likely to remain shaded in the willows for much of each day, and spotting them won't be easy. But they have 10 days to enjoy the pursuit. Like much mountain hunting, most of the time is spent trying to spot a target. In the first few days, the moose make themselves scarce. There's plenty of time to enjoy some coffee and a fireside lunch.
Steam. Yep, look at that. Just the way I like it. Burnt in the middle like that, see? You know she's done.
Soon, it's back to work.
Tomorrow's our day.
The next few days, Lance leads a hike that takes Bob even higher.
Oh, I got him. Gosh sakes, that's good eyes, Lance.
Well, you get that pan that flashes in the sun like that, you know, it's just like a sheet of plywood.
Yeah. Oh, he looks pretty contented right there.
I think while he's there and we've just spotted him, I think we should probably get our gear together and take a crack at him.
Unfortunately, as they begin to come closer, Lance realizes the bull is outside their licensed hunting area. He's inside the national park. It's possible that Lance can lure the bull into their zone. He gives some enticing cow calls. But this old boy decides to stay put. The warm weather's put the bulls out of the running mood. They'll have to keep looking.
Tell you what, we're just not catching a break here. We got a little bull over there. And we got a very nice bull, but he's only got a half antler. He must have broke it off fighting. We try to find the bull, get him bedded down someplace in a place where we can stalk. Obviously, you can see what we got here. And this is short stuff compared to what's on the other side of the river, but we'll just keep looking. We'll get lucky and find the right bull.
Bob Folkrot's Hunting Adventures is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Vortex, Best of the West Rifles, Huskama Long Range Optics, Kinetrek, Kufaru, and LJ Blessings Ranch.
The new Victor Chevrolet building is now open. Visit us at 7200 Pittsford Victor Road, Route 96 near Eastview Mall, or victorchevrolet.com.
Although Bob completed his obsession quest taking over 80 animals with a rifle, his first love has always been bow hunting. He's teamed up with longtime friend and archery coach Mike Price to help make you a better bow shot. This week's archery lesson is brought to you by Heritage Archery Academy and these great archery sponsors: Easton, Hoyt, Limb Saber, Gateway Feathers, and Tactical Hearing.
Oh, man. You ever get one of them moments when you miss the target and you don't know whether to blame your bow, or was it you?
Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Bob came in whining about missing another one. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna diagnose that miss. Because the first thing that we did, we tuned this bow. We paper tuned it, we broadhead tuned it. I know it was shooting perfectly. And then I marked this bow in several different spots that we're gonna show you. So, if I check all these marks, I'm 100% sure that this thing didn't come out of tune. Then we can blame it back on Bob. Let me show you some of these marks. Okay, first and foremost, if something's gonna move, it's probably gonna be a string or a cable. This is good BCY product, factory-made fused strings from Hoyt. I doubt we're gonna have any movement, but what we have is I've got marks on the bottom cam on each side of the limb. So I can look over the limb and go, nope, that one didn't move. And I also marked the top one. And I've got mark on the bottom and I've got a mark on the top. That didn't move either. So it's looking more like Bob, but let's keep investigating this. I've even got marks where my stops are on the bow, on both ends. My cam position, I've got little silver dots where the cam positions are. I've got marks where the module position is supposed to be located, and just in case somebody was working on his bow for him. So those look to be in all the same position. I've got a center shot mark or a mark on the back of his rest, and that didn't move. And I've also got one on the elevation side of his rest where the rest moves up and down. That didn't move either. Now his peep, we marked the string. There's no movement on the peep. And the sight is marked. I've got a mark where our gang elevation is and marked where the pins are. And that didn't move. Left and right, it's underneath. On the sight, that didn't move either. So the likelihood of this miss is probably the shooter, not this machine. The biggest problem today is that people are more likely to blame the machine than themselves. And there's a balance there. So you've got to learn to diagnose the shot. If you set the shot up like we did in the last 13 weeks, Analytically set each little piece, from your stance to your grip to your release to your anchor, and you will be able to diagnose a shot. My equipment is fine, so I know for sure that Bob's bow is still in the proper position. So I've checked every mark on it. This thing is going to shoot right down the middle. This is just a machine, there's no magic here. So again, we're going to go back to Bob and diagnose his shot. So we just went over this bow. Bob's marks all line up. What he should have done the night before is he should have looked at all his marks so he didn't have to question the equipment. And then when he got out of the truck in the morning, you just look it over real quick. It only takes a couple seconds to look at those cams and go, man, everything's good. My sight didn't move. I have confidence this bow is going to do the job. So once you diagnose it's not the bow, then you get a chance to be honest with yourself, guys, because we hear it all the time. The pin was right in the middle. I don't know how I missed it. Well, there must have been some other component in your shot that made you miss that deer. But be honest with yourself, diagnose it, check this equipment the night before, and when you pick this bow out of the rack or out of the case in the morning, check it over. It only takes seconds. It'll take less than a minute to look at all the marks. That should help you being able to diagnose a shot and make better shots.
Time's running out. It's the last day of the hunt. Bob and Lance know it's now or never. This bull is several miles away, but he's in the right area. The stalk is on. Because of the wind direction, the stalk to the moose will be tough, to say the least. And that includes crossing an icy, glacier-fed river. And that's just the beginning. From this point, the hunters have even bigger obstacles to tackle, like a 2-mile hike in thick tangles of buckbrush to the base of this mountain. Of course, mountains mean climbing, and 2,000 feet later, everyone finds themselves slipping along a narrow ridge that should offer a shot, if the big bull is still there. They finally have an eye on him. The bull is still bedded down. Lance gives a call. That sparked his interest.
Bob, I think you should get your gun up and ready. I think he's gonna wind us pretty quick. I just felt some on the back.
He did, right there. He just threw his head up.
Yeah.
He already got us. Good call. They got him. Oh, he's running off to the side there. He dropped in that hole right there. As soon as he stops there, Lance, I'm going to shoot him. That's about as good as you're going to get right there, ain't it?
You got him that first shot.
As is often the case on moose, the bullets seem to have little impact. But in just seconds, the slug does its work.
All right. How about that, huh?
10 days.
Yeah, crossing that river wasn't so bad. It was worth a moose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Absolutely. It was a little longer than I wanted to poke him, but that wind hit us in the back of the head, and he knew it.
There was no choice on that one.
Yeah.
We're going to go find him. Buddy.
Yeah, good boy.
We'll go find him. Yeah.
Good deal. Gosh sakes. Look at that scenery. Isn't that beautiful? Big old bull moose and this stuff, you know? That was beautiful.
Flashing in the sun.
Absolutely.
After 10 days in the bush, all the hard work has come to this. A British Columbia moose surrounded by a land as wild as the creatures that call it home. But it's the memories of the hunt that will linger long after the aching muscles have faded. Thanks to folks like Lance Goodwin and the people of British Columbia, Canada, the future of moose hunting looks bright here. and soon the crew will enjoy one of the most delicious game meats there is.
Oh man, look at there. British Columbia moose. It's been a tough hunt, but you know, you take what you can get right there. And I'm a happy man because we worked hard for this moose right here.
To learn more about moose hunting in British Columbia, stay tuned to the end of the show.
Transportation for all of Bob Volkrod's hunting adventures is provided by Victor Chevrolet. Check them out at victorchevrolet.com.
Here's one of the things that I do when I'm traveling. Obviously, you heard me talk about my Pelican gun case that doesn't look like a gun case. You know, it's got fishing stickers onto it. We've covered that before. I got another Pelican case that's it's got a lot of air miles onto it. And then what I've done, whether I'm going at a show or whether I'm going on a hunt, I normally have a firearm with me that I carry for a concealed permit. And what I've done, but I've got one that's got a code onto it for my handgun that I put in there. So that's got a lock onto it. That goes into it. I've got the one next to it that holds the knife, flashlight, my clip, you know, my ammo. Great ammo right there just for that. But everything goes into a box. This also gets locked up. I've got my obviously my case for my handgun when I get there. You know, hopefully when they look in there and see the sheriff's badge. You didn't know that, did you, Ted Nugent? You ain't the only one that's got a sheriff. Bradford County Deputy Sheriff myself, you know. So anyway, that's how I pack everything. Of course, all my clothes and shoes and everything will go into this. Everything goes back into this Pelican case, gets locked up. Also has a lock onto it. So I'm covered all the way around, you know. So gun case that doesn't look like a gun case, and my Pelican case, I feel pretty confident all my gear is going to get there safe and sound. And that, my folks, is the tip of the day.
A combination hunt for moose and caribou is no easy task, even under the best of conditions. The country that holds both of these majestic animals is often remote, prone to bad weather, and physically demanding of those who venture there. Bob Volkrod's obsession quest hunt has taken him all over North America and beyond in search of animals like these. In fact, the Obsession Quest is a 5-year challenge that includes the taking of all 50 of the big game animals listed for North America. The woodland caribou and eastern Canadian moose are just 2 of the game animals he must take this season. As always, Bob has done his homework. The province of Newfoundland in Canada holds the best odds for success on this hunt. Much of Newfoundland, known to Canadians as the Rock, is a vast and rugged island, holding the densest population of moose on Earth, a herd estimated at 120,000 animals. It also holds the huge Northern Peninsula herd of woodland caribou, estimated at 85,000. Bob's jumping off point for the hunt is the tiny town of Deer Lake. From here, he'll travel by float plane to the remote hunting grounds. But Deer Lake is as far as Bob will get before the wheels come off his plans.
Boy, I hate to start a hunt like this. You know, I got an absolutely terrible cold. I did get into the drugstore and get a bunch of stuff today to hopefully take care of it. The good news is we couldn't have flown today anyway. Gusting winds are blowing too bad. It's not even going to hurt my feelings if I can't fly out tomorrow, because when I do get into camp, I want to be ready to hunt.
Bob knows he won't be able to hunt effectively when he's ill. He'll have to spend the next 2 days dreaming of moose and caribou instead of hunting them. With the recovery well underway, Bob boards the trusty de Havilland float plane for the ride to camp.
Those are flying today, pretty decent.
The low-altitude flight reveals a landscape that only a bush plane can provide. This is truly a vast and rugged land.
Looks like we beat the rain a little bit.
Landing at the Partridge Pond Outpost Camp is the next step.
Got everybody's
From here,
gear.
the hunters will make daily sorties in pursuit of moose and caribou.
I think that might be the last flight for a while.
This may not be the Ritz-Carlton, but to Bob Folkrod, it's pure paradise. Perfectly suited and outfitted for the hunt. They say that half of hunting is patience, and this trip is no exception. No sooner do the travelers arrive in camp when the weather sucks them in. Rain and fog combine to create poor visibility for spotting game.
I'm feeling much better, as you can see. I have a smile on my face. But the weather doesn't feel better.
As I rolled out on a bright May morning in a one May morning early,
After losing 2 days to illness already, Bob's chances aren't getting any better.
You're on a hunt like this, it's called patience. Lewis is tired of my jokes. He goes to bed right after he eats.
Good food and great fellowship help pass the time.
Soap opera.
You know, I think in another 6 or 8 hours, it might clear up.
Running a remote camp is a year-round challenge. To save costs, many of the supplies are brought over land and ice in the dead of winter. Only snow machines can get through. During the season, supplies, hunters, and trophies are constantly shuttled in and out by plane. The pace is hectic and the work is hard. Outfitting is no life for the lazy. Bad weather makes it that much harder. The sky's clear enough for the hunt. With 5 days of delays behind them, the hunters head out carrying gear and loads of pent-up energy. They'll need it because there are only 2 days left to hunt.
This segment has been brought to you by the Victor Chevrolet Deal of the Week. Check them out at victorchevrolet.com. Chevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Victor Chevrolet, same place I get my trucks from, and you should too.
This week's Conservation Angle has been brought to you by Wild Sheep Foundation.
We're with Bob Folkrod on a hunt for moose and caribou in Canada. After losing several days to illness and bad weather, Bob's in a hurry-up offense. Louis Keogh of Parsons Pond Outfitting has been guiding in Newfoundland for nearly 20 years. Hopefully, his vast experience will pay off today.
You can glass here, glass this edge here on this side, and I can move on down a little further and glass it. 2 sets of eyes are a lot better than one.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
There's one. There's right there. There's a good one. Man, he's on the move. I think we can get to him. We gotta go, though. Gotta go. We get right in here, we got him.
The bull is nervous. If Bob doesn't act fast, it'll all be over. Bob tries a challenging moose call to stop the bull. It works, but he only has seconds to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I want to tell you, that's a heck of a Newfoundland moose right there.
One down and one to go, Bob, and only 1 day left to hunt. The weather's closing in again, and the pressure is on to take a good bull in 1 day. The pair wastes little time as they leave camp and begin their hike.
There's one in the middle.
This group holds several respectable bulls. Using the wind, Lewis and Bob move as close as they dare. Many eyes mean many chances for failure.
Run.
Is that one right in the center, isn't he? All right, let me get this thing unloaded here. I'll tell you what, that's using the fog to our advantage, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, worked well.
Jeez, we can. Double shovel. I'll tell you what, 5 days of rain. We walked up over that hill through that fog.
No matter how well you prepare for your hunt, eventually you can be under the weather in more ways than one. But with the right country, the right guides, and the right conditions, you can still take home meat for the freezer, trophies for the home, and tales for the fireside. For more information about hunting with Parsons Pond Outfitters, stay tuned till the end of the show.
For help with all of your hunt booking needs, contact J&M Safaris at jnmsafaris.com. After your successful hunt of a lifetime, contact Wes Good at canadistudio.com for the finest taxidermy in the business. Be sure to follow Bob and all his adventures at bobfolkrod.com and on Facebook.